Hello everyone. Hey, I wanted to talk about something very important today, and it's about jealousy, okay? That is a topic. It's a bit of a spicy topic, but it's very important because we often don't realize how much projection we put into other people, which then obviously affects us and how we live our lives. So this video is just going to be about how to use jealousy to your advantage and really understand where this feeling comes from. So jealousy, just like every feeling that you feel, is triggered by something, right? So when you feel jealous, actually, before I even get into that, there is something, I think I brought this up in another video, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, something I truly believe is that you can have a spiritual take on this, or you can also just have like a kind of like psycho neuro take on this, I guess. But an emotion isn't objectively bad or good. It's literally just what you're experiencing given how you're perceiving something and your experiences and whatever, like your background knowledge regarding some kind of situation. The feeling that comes up from a trigger is literally just your brain is wired a certain way. You're identifying something, and so now you're responding how you would naturally respond to this trigger because of your experiences. In simple terms, what you're experiencing, the feeling that is coming up from this experience, is just how you were wired to be triggered by that experience. Because you could go through the same thing that someone else goes through. You might feel something horrible with that experience. Someone else might come out with a completely different feeling about it. It's just about your own way of perceiving something. Okay, a more spiritual take on it, which I really like, is that when you feel something, a feeling isn't objectively bad or good. It's just how you're communicating with yourself. And if you believe that the universe is you, basically, because I believe that, like, everything is as a mirror. This reality is a mirror. You are literally experiencing, like, yourself experiencing things, and there's just, I don't know, I can't go into this right now because it's a whole other thing, and this video will be 30 minutes long if I go into that, and we're trying to avoid this right now, okay? Your feelings are how you're communicating with yourself, how your higher self is communicating with yourself, how the universe is communicating with you. So when you feel things, there's a conversation that can be had there. It doesn't have to always be that way. Sometimes you should actually just always you should feel your feelings, so you're in a constant state of flow. Because being in a constant state of flow will get you your dreams. Just a little spoiler alert. Going with the flow is always the best option, honestly. But also, obviously, still putting in action. Okay, let's see how I'm going on a tangent. When you, for example, experience fear, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it's a negative feeling. It doesn't mean that this fear is a bad thing, objectively, okay? Obviously, like, you know, this fight or flight and stuff. Like, there's more extreme examples, but the idea of, like, being afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone, for example, that fear could just be you telling yourself that you're making the right decision by stepping out of your comfort zone. This fear is coming out of being uncomfortable. You have to feel uncomfortable in order to recognize that you're stepping out of this past version of yourself into the next step, right? So these feelings aren't objectively bad, or there's some information that you can gain from how you're feeling, which can then help you build yourself more. So where does jealousy come in? Ooh, jealousy. Guys, I have literally struggled with this for so long, and I've been a jealousy denier. I have been denying the fact that I get jealous. Girl, bye. Everyone gets jealous. It's normal, okay? Unless, like, maybe you have some kind of cognition thing that has some effect towards that. But for what I know, everyone gets jealous. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's how you go about that feeling that can be bad. If you're not harming somebody, then this is just a feeling that you're feeling. It's not a bad thing. When you feel jealous, when somebody is doing something, they're achieving things, they're getting some kind of attention that you want, whether you recognize that you want this or not, you're feeling like envy. You don't like that they're achieving these big things. You're putting them up here and you're putting yourself down here. But this is not the case at all. No matter how much someone achieves, It does not make you any less worthy or any less valuable or any less likely to achieve everything that you want, okay? Someone's journey, their progress, where they're headed, that direction, has nothing to do with yours. They're completely different things, okay? Obviously, sometimes you meet in your journeys and you exchange information. That is where you meet. Your interactions, that's where you meet. What they're doing on their own time, what they're getting on their own time, even if you were somehow involved in their success, applaud them. Applaud them. Applaud them just as you would want to be applauded for your successes. It is very hard when you see somebody doing very well and you feel like you're not doing that, but that is not their issue. That is a conversation you need to have with yourself. Why do I feel like I am not doing enough? Because the feeling of low self-esteem is so destructive. But, you know, unfortunately, it's how most of us were raised and how we were expected to see ourselves, especially women, okay? But this goes for almost everyone. A lot of people, they're not raised to be confident in the sense of confidence is marked by your character and the value you place on yourself and not by your successes. Your confidence should not come from your achievements, okay? Your confidence should not come from people's validation. Your confidence is in here. You are the only one that should be able to dictate your worth, okay? Because everyone else's opinion is their own projection, and your projection of yourself is what is going to come back around to you in your goals and what you go for in life, and who you meet and who you let yourself be friends and date. This is why when you feel jealous, recognize that this jealousy is coming from a lack of trust in yourself to achieve something, as well as a lack of trust in the world to getting you what you want. When you're jealous, recognize that the reason you're feeling triggered by this person is because you see yourself in them, okay? Otherwise, it would not matter at all what the hell this person was doing to you. You would not care. But you care because you feel a connection, you feel a relatability. You see yourself in this person. What they're achieving to some capacity is also meant for you. If you are like, you see someone, I don't know, they're working some like random job and they got a promotion, and you're jealous about that, you know that you're also worthy of a promotion. Just trust yourself, okay? When you trust yourself and in the world, you'll know that everything will work out for you and there will be no need to be jealous, okay? Or like, even when you do feel jealous, because it does just happen, it's fine. You recognize that feeling as a sign that you are like this person in some way, because you are triggered by this person. You relate to them in some way. And whatever they're getting, you're also going to get everything that you want as well. And when you trust that you will get everything that you want, then you're actually able to celebrate people's successes, which is very important. You need to be able to look at someone, especially if it's a close person, even if it's not, anyone who is gaining something, who is winning something, who has achieved something, you need to be able to applaud them. Because you know why? When it is your turn to be applauded, you will get that back. And you'll also be able to applaud yourself. You get back what you give out. Okay, let's broaden this a little bit, because it doesn't have to just be jealousy or under that label, because some people will deny till their deathbed if they're jealous about something. I don't even want to get into that, because I don't know what's in your brain. But when you're giving out some kind of judgment, and it's a negative judgment, if you're criticizing somebody, first of all, you don't know everything, okay? You don't know what's going on in their head. To them, what they're doing can make perfect sense to them, but to you, it doesn't. Now, unless they're harming somebody, whatever they're doing, let them be. If they're happy, good for them. If they're happy, good for them. And sometimes I think we give our criticisms and our judgments, and it's not with malintent. Sometimes we think we're coming from a place of, you know, like wisdom for them. And obviously if you feel like you want to pitch your opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you pitch your opinion. But if they reject your opinion like once, twice, whatever, they do not want it. They do not agree with you, okay? You know what's best for you. when you're giving out advice to someone and it's like it kind of judgmental, it's like, oh, for example, someone is in the center of attention and they're just naturally getting the center of attention, whatever, and you tell them, and they're enjoying it. They play that role very well. It's very natural to them to be an entertainer, to be in the center of attention, and to be very confident. And you tell them, hey, you know, maybe like be a little humble. You're projecting what you think is an ideal to somebody else. And please be careful with this, because sometimes people will not take it well, okay? You don't know what this person, how their brain works. You know, to them, maybe being really confident is a very good thing, you know, whereas to you, it's not. And that's fine. But also recognize that sometimes when we see somebody act very confident and we're triggered by that, that could mean that we feel that confidence in ourselves, but we're not tapped into that yet. We still have beliefs that limit our confidence and how we express ourselves. So when we see someone else doing that, we feel like it's wrong. You're being triggered because there's something about that person that you see in yourself. And if you tapped into that, it might change your life. Honestly, for the better. It might. You never know. You need to try out different ways of existing, you know, trusting your intuition and just going with the flow and let people exist as how they are, you know, without criticizing them, without projecting, you know, and it'll get to a point where you won't even do that to yourself. When I'm saying that, it sounds so simplified because we are constantly projecting. Obviously, everything that we see is being processed by our own brains. So it's like, no matter what, we cannot avoid projection. We can only know that the way that we see things is not the way that everyone else sees things, and that there's no right way of thinking, okay? There's no right way. There really isn't, because you can justify any way of thinking. You can, and you won't agree with it, maybe, but that's not, you're just one person. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, humble yourself in the sense of what you think you know, but be confident in expressing yourself and being you and living your life. And you will not, I promise you, like, the way you will experience jealousy will just be completely different. You will be able to applaud people for their successes. You'll be a better friend, you know, just a happier person. And when you're a happier person, you're in a better state of flow, okay? When you're in a state of flow, you're able to attract and receive the miracles and the blessings that are literally waiting to be poured onto you. I'm telling you, this world is so abundant. And when you are looking at someone and you say, they are getting everything, why am I not getting everything? You're coming from a state of lack. You're coming from this place that I don't have that. But if you just believe that you are going to get everything that you've ever dreamed of, and you're going with the flow, you are going with the opportunities that are coming to you, you are taking action in the sense that, like, when something comes to you, you're able to go for it. I am telling you, opportunities will come falling into your lap if you're not looking at life from a state of lack, if you're looking at life from a state of abundance, that we have more than enough in this world for us, because we do. And it is very hard because we you know, we live in like a place where we're taught basically that everything is scarce. No, it's because it's allocated wrong. that is why in our brains, it's like, well, in order to be rich, we have to, you know, exploit people. No, you literally don't. I'm telling you, there's plenty of rich people who have money, just enough money to be comfortable, and are also just good people. Like, obviously, like, everyone has, like, their flaws and stuff. Like, not everyone who has a lot of money is an evil money, like, shark. Like, that's not, don't believe that, please. That you're gonna limit yourself. Don't. Anyway, not everything's about money though. Like, obviously, like, that was just an example. You're just as worthy of receiving all of these blessings and all of these miracles in this world. And if you just exist and focus on what really matters, which is just being happy and enjoying life and experiencing your feelings and making the most out of what really matters, which honestly, it's love and it's community and it's, you know, taking care of yourself and whatever it is, like, enjoying life. And I'm telling you, it does not come from monetary or, like, just any kind of labeled success. It doesn't come from that. That, when you're relying on that, then the entire world is in power of your confidence and of your happiness. When you just rely on your own validation and where you are right now and being happy and where you are right now because you are experiencing you and your life, and that is the most precious thing that you could have in this world. And I know it's a very humble type of, thing to love, but that's the point. You need to be happy in the small things, and then the big things will fall into place, I promise. You won't even care that they do, really. You'll be able to applaud them and be happy for them, but it's not going to change the fact that with or without them, you love yourself and you are happy. That's the really big thing, is like knowing how you're living your life, where you're placing your values, because that will dictate what will trigger you and what has power over your emotions. But when you also do feel jealousy, when you see someone that is getting what you want, know that you are somehow a reflection of that as well. You are also going to get what you want. You just need to applaud them as well. They got something. Congratulations. Now when it's your turn, and then everyone's happy. And then also, when you're able to applaud someone, maybe that person will notice it and they'll be thankful for that. It's really nice to be applauded. You'll remember the friendly faces that are happy for you. Be happy for people. That's a really good energy to send out. It really does make your heart more full and connect to your community more. And it's a good feeling. So anyway, that's how you reframe jealousy to your advantage. A lot of inner work, basically, honestly. But yeah, just recognize why you might be feeling jealous of somebody and have a conversation with yourself about that. Why do I feel triggered? Is there something that this person has that I feel like I do not have? Why do I believe I do not have that? Do I believe that I cannot have that? Am I coming from a lack mindset? Which, very important thing to heal. A lack mindset, guys, heal that shit. Have an abundance mindset. I'm telling you. Anyway, I hope this video was very helpful for you, and have a good day, and take care of yourselves and your minds. Okay. Mwah. Bye.